Next guest was best described online. I wouldn't say which account, but this is what they said. They said, when this man dons a dangari and grabs a mic. Because if you've ever seen him on stage, he always has a dangari. Anyway, now you know that it's going down. A lifelong lover of funk, Blinky Bill superpower is managing to glide through all these different genres and still leave his imprint on every single song that he touches. So that's from hip-hop to funk and jazz, right?
Yeah.
There's another one?
Electronic music.
Oh, and electronic.
Yeah.
Okay, so
vitu mingi sana.
Karibu sana, Blinky.
Asante, long time no see.
You look successful. I don't know how to explain it to you. You just look like you're doing well, bro. You know that you haven't seen someone in a long time and you're just like, huyu anaka deal zote zimevana, maisha iko poa. Have you been?
Mungu mkubwa.
Yeah, have you been? I see you globe-trotting.
I've been good. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here.
I think you were in New Orleans.
Yeah,
was it sometime last year?
I was in New Orleans a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, so it was this year?
Yeah.
You know, you're one of those people who someone has to go check your IG to see if you're in the country. You have become those people. Do you feel like you spend more time outside the country?
I'm mostly here, but when I'm here, niko chini ya maji with my family.
So unless uko na gig,
unless niko na gig, pia spendi pupa sana. So I'm like, I like to chill.
Yeah, you are the celebrities who make me happy. You know why? Because the work that you do, your craft forces you to be known, right? And then your personality and your character is very different from what they would expect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're like, I just want you guys to love my music. I don't need to be known. You must really understand the artists who wear like, whether it's Dead Mouse or there's the there's the Kenyan, who is the guy who wears a mask?
The chef?
No, not the chef. But there's a guy who wears the mask.
Lucci.
Yes, Lucci.
Lucci.
Yeah, I've always been envious of that.
Yeah, because it's like, also you can grow old and no one really knows your face.
Yeah, bro, you can be broke and no one is going to be like, did you see? Did you see?
Yeah, apparently like there's an interview with Daft Punk where they were on a train and they were being interviewed and no one knew who they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's how, because you maintain both of them, a bit of privacy while still sharing your art form and what you love so much.
Yeah, I think it's just like, the thing is the art. That's the purpose for me.
You let the art speak for itself.
Yeah.
And the art, there's more art coming out now. We cut Keys 2. It's been 5 years?
It's been, my last album came out in 2018. And time moves so fast. Yeah. So it's just like, it's going to be 6 years in the space in between, but this album came out in January. So Sunday is like the first time I'm performing it live, or some of it live at Blankets. Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty cool because I know your fans have been looking forward to all these new jams, and then even you get to see how they react to it. Remedy. Yeah. By the way.
Are you serious?
Nikali sana. Nikali sana.
Are you serious?
And you didn't even, I understand you recorded it a long time ago or a while back.
No, actually, Remedy was like one of the last tracks. So the guy I collaborated with is called Emok. And he's like, he lives in New York, but he's like a mix of Kenya and Ghana. So he's like here sometimes. And yeah, we worked on it. It was like literally one of the last songs that but I'm super surprised that you
Why? I think it's one of them. It just sounds beautiful. If you appreciate music and production, I think it's a song that... that was not on your bingo card. There's someone who said that your music sounds really good with the LA background. This is someone who was sending you a DM telling you it sounds so good internationally. Are you getting surprised? Because I'm seeing different... people from different parts of the world saying, I'm listening to it here, I'm listening to it there.
Yeah, it's like... I think sometimes when we come from Kenya, like Kenya kupiga makumbo yani, so we end up just thinking that the only place that people can listen to your music is Kenya. But it's just like, for me, I've always wanted to make music for Kenya and for the world. So I was in Shags in Bondo on Easter. And my mom comes to call me. It's like, yo, Mungu Alali is playing on radio. And it reminded me of times when people were telling me, oh, your music is for people who are high class. I'm just like, it's never been about that. My music is for people who are curious. People who don't want what is always being given to them. So I think kwa hesabu ya watu wengi, what we round off to Mababi. But it's just like, I grew up in Isli, so
I wouldn't say Mababi hapo. I think it's because you're very experimental with your music.
Exactly.
And you dare. You're very daring and you take risks.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting that you say that now, and social media played such a big role. But I remember when I used to have you on radio and people would say, lakini sasa hawa just nani atasikiza hii ngoma yao? You know, because it was just, but you see people always equate something that you're not used to something that might not be nice.
And
like here tuitaki hapa. Nani alisema?
And it's yeah, like honestly, if I look back at the last 14, 15 years I've been making music, I've gotten to see so much of the world, but being based in Kenya, just off of my music. So huwa sibishani na watu sana, because kama unajua kuniliko ni sawa. Haina noma.
Yeah.
Mimi nitazidi kufanya vitu zangu.
But social media manzili cheza role because you would never have known. You know, the gatekeepers in media used to decide essentially who will be a star and who will not, whose music will be on heavy rotation and whose will not. Meaning that we're now 50 million people.
Yeah.
You can't dictate to 50 million people your personal preference. Thank you.
So it's like, also the landscape is changing so much, and every day I find out new artists, even in Kenya, who I've never heard of, but would never have been heard of if it was still like someone deciding that, oh, this is what you're gonna listen to. So it's a good thing. It's
a great thing. And, you know, shout out to people who make spaces for creators and lovers of music like Mudhoni Drama Queen, because Blankets and Wine is that platform. Like, if you make music and you think, I don't even know what this genre is called, Blankets and Wine would be your gig, because you have to allow people to express themselves, to be whatever, essentially what they want to be. We're all different. We can't be books. So I like it. So tell me about Blankets and, you know, performing at Blankets. Tell me what you got planned.
It's gonna be a really good show. Like I'm super excited. I played in October, but because of the way we'd planned it, I thought my album was gonna come out in early October. Then it ended up not coming out then. So now it came out, and Mudhoni was like, "Yo, bro, do you wanna do that thing?" So man, let's go. Let's go.
Are you gonna wear dangari?
No. Babu is
gonna do something.
He's gonna do that thing.
I shout out to Brian Babu, man, my stylist as well. Yeah. You can't go before we talk more about the album. Maji's on there?
Maji.
That is wicked.
We have Maji. We have Fuse ODG. We have Mudhoni, Kasha, who's like an up-and-coming artist. But she's incredible. Those Gold Link, who's like an American rapper. Yeah. So it's just like a mix of so many things, and so many of my friends who like I've always wanted to work with. It's really good. Like I'm very excited seeing how people are responding to it, and Nabado. Like when someone Nabado natundo umeitoa sahi. It's a lot of work. Which is your favorite song? Right now, there's a song on there called Mtaona Nikipa, which is like, it's the one I'm playing the most right now. But there was a time when I was really playing the song with Fuse ODG. Remedy is also like,
people vibe to it.
People
are like, I think maybe you're surprised that people like it as much. Maybe you had, and that's the thing with being a musician. You release it to the world, we decide.
Exactly. Yeah. It's always really interesting to see which lands where, because when I was mapping it out with a song with Maji, all those kinds of those drums, and then I was in Ghana and I met Fuse and we just kicked it, and I recorded that song with him. When I thought it was gonna go on his album, and then he was like, "Yo, bro, that's your song." I was just like, "What?" Yeah.
I love that, man. I love that about people who do well-established artists, producers, whoever they are. When they really want to put you on, they're like, "No, you do it. You put it up on your album."
And I think that's one of the things I really like about Ghanaians. They're very, from my experience, ni wakarimu sana. Like if you click with them,
That's it.
mtasikilizana.
Yeah,
It's something that we could do better. The Kenyans are really good with, we are welcoming to other people.
More than we are of our people. Yes.
Yeah, so we could balance that a bit better.
Yeah. In fact, I remember traveling a couple of years ago, and I went and I did this gig somewhere else, and it was just love, and I was so confused because in Kenya you don't get that. So I'm like, are they all like I'm trending in a foreign country, and back at home they're just like ona iki, iki. Okay, so one last question. Music is your therapy, right?
Yeah.
Who's your therapist? I saw that question online, and I was like, I have to ask Blinky.
Music is who's my therapist?
Yes.
Like as a
Like
musician,
who you listen to, and you feel like they heal you.
that would be
I know you have to think about it.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, okay.
Yeah. Like I really like how he writes, but it varies from day to day because I listen to so much music. Like, in fact, that's a very hard question for me sometimes because at any given moment, I'm listening to something, but also it's such a diverse range of artists.
You're like,
so it's just like the unifying guy that I could see as a writer would be Bob.
Yeah, that's true. That is very, very true. And look, now his grandson, you know, doing the same thing, and
his voice
people are
incredible.
loving it. Yeah, it's so unique, so unique. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wish we could talk we should book a different interview and talk about the album specifically, right? And just go through song by song. And it's 16 tracks.
It is 16 tracks.
That's a lot of songs.
But also, it had been 5 years since my last
That's
album,
true.
so I was just like,
Wait,
what did you pay you?
Did you start recording immediately after?
During the pandemic, because I never imagined a world where we're not playing music. Then now, like after a while, I just started writing. Yeah.
Well, at least you released it, because usually people keep it in the vault. You're like, let me wait a little bit. Let me wait a little bit. Especially when you're waiting for vocals to come in for other songs that you wanted to feature, so and so. So Maji Maji is the only Kenyan feature. Oh, you said no. You've also mentioned a few
Maji Maji,
guys. MDQ,
Jovi
you
Jov,
said. Who?
Jovi.
Jovial.
Jovi. Jovi Jov.
Okay, I don't know Jovi.
He's like, you know, you've heard of Shrap?
Yes, of course.
He's like the OG of Shrap.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
So
thought
it's
it
like-
was Butros.
No, like
The Shrap God. No.
Butros is like the face of, but Jovi is like the guy who like really started it.
He's like, what was the guy who started? Rambat, what's his name?
Africa Bambata.
Yes, so it's like him, and then now fast forward to like Nas and Jay-Z.
But they work together a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's always a pleasure having these conversations with you.
Thank you
We're
so much.
Proud of you. When you now travel is when people are like, you know, he's Kenyan, right? Like, you know, he's from here. But we're always
I remember
so proud
there's
of
a show it was a Koroga, and they had me on the lineup, and people were like, there's no Kenyan artist.
Oh.
That was back in the day.
Oh.
So, yeah.
That is true though. Blinky ukupenda hiyo vibe. Sindio? Anakanga tu like
Actually, before I used to think
he's not you thought he was what? Nigerian?
Ghanaian.
Ghanaian.
Ghanaian, yeah.
Me in Kenya, bro.
Have you got that before, that you don't look Kenyan? No, it's
not really, but like when I'm in Ghana, a lot of them think I'm from there. So because I hang out with mostly my friends, wao wananiona kama si reja.
Yeah. You're like, excuse me, guys.
Excuse me, I'm a serious person
Meet me
in
back
this
at home. I'm a role model. What are you saying? Anyway, it's always a pleasure to see you. Blinky, he will be performing on Sunday. Grab your tickets. Blankets and Wine will be taking place this weekend. There's World, who's also going to be on stage.
Eric Wainaina.
And the South African artist that I forgot.
Dlala.
I just know
Taxi.
the song. Is anyone else like that? Like, I know the song.
Yeah,
and I'm
I
like,
know
oh,
the song,
that's
I
his
think
name.
so, yeah.
But also, they chuck so much music.
Yeah, so you can't
So
really
it's
know.
just like you
So I'm
can't.
like, oh, it was you,
You know
bro.
the song, but you probably won't know the artist.
You know, yeah, even Musa Keys, I remember when he first came, I knew the songs and I was like, that's his song too.
Yeah.
So there will be a host of other artists. Of course, MDQ will be on stage as well. You don't want to miss. We're going to share the poster on our Twitter and on our Instagram.